broadcasting live from sunny California. This episode, Layer 1 and Layer 2. Everyone's talking about it, but what is it actually? How does it matter to you? Let's find out. That's what we're going to talk about today. So Layer 1 and Layer 2, how did it originate? And by the way, the people who know me, they know I have my own blockchain startup. It's called Bitoku Labs, and we're building a storage layer for Solana and other smart contract chains. Do check it out. The link is in the description because we have the launch of our public node sale real soon, so don't miss out on it. Layer 1 and Layer 2, it all originated because, there is that thing called blockchain trilemma. Right? It's often depicted as a triangle, and the three things in the trilemma are decentralization, security, and scalability. So these three things, and you read that often everywhere, they make you think that it's impossible to solve, right? It's like, if you make something scalable, it must be either insecure or it must be not decentralized, right? And the same thing with the other thing. There is a correlation between those, obviously. So if you have any given blockchain, and it all started out with Bitcoin, if you make Bitcoin more secure, so make the difficulty larger, then it'll become less scalable and it'll become slower, and the block times become longer and stuff like that. But, Bitcoin is not the only blockchain out there. And Bitcoin is a layer 1, right? Ethereum is a layer 1. And there is lots of other layer 1 blockchains. It just means it's the pure blockchain. As it was invented, there's nothing on top of it that tries to fix the trilemma, right? That's why people are building those layer 2, because they're on top of the layer 1s, right? And they have been created in order to be performant and be scalable within the framework that the level 1 sets, right? So the level 1 gives the security, right? All transactions are being settled on that security layer but then, with the layer 2s, there are many different versions, right? Most of them on the Ethereum side are rollups, and that's because Ethereum is a smart contract chain, right? So, but there is also layer 2s for Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin has no smart contracts. Bitcoin is just blockchain 1.0, right? It's that simple only money thing. And there's the Lightning Network. So Lightning Network on top of Bitcoin is a layer 2. And you deposit something into Lightning, it's fast, because Lightning is something that's centralized on top of Bitcoin, and it can do fast and cheap transactions. But then, every now and then, when you have a certain number of Lightning transactions together, it will be sent to the Bitcoin network in one transaction. And that way, the transaction fees are kind of shared among all the guys that were in that Lightning block. So it's a cool thing to fix one of Bitcoin's problems, slow transactions, high transaction fees. And that's a layer 2. And we have layer 2s on Ethereum a lot. And, they usually work with what's called rollups. That would be a subject for another video that I make another time. But, most of these rollups work with, there's optimistic rollups. Optimistic rollups just assume the transaction is safe. And then if nobody complains within a week, then the transaction is going to be final. And I think we all agree that, this can only be used for a certain amount of real life applications. So there are also zero knowledge layer 2s. Zero knowledge means there are proofs, zero knowledge proofs. And actually, those are not proofs. So that's a fun fact here. It's called ZK snarks. So a snark is called a succinct, non-interactive argument of knowledge. And the interesting thing here, it's called argument of knowledge. It's not called proof of knowledge, right? And that's because there is a slight possibility that the proof could not be true. So And you know, that's a general fact of life. Nothing's for sure. You know, nobody knows if the sun will go up tomorrow. And nobody knows, you know, if the universe as we know it, it could just be gone any moment. Hello? Hello? Hey, did somebody turn off the universe? Hey, turn it on again. All right. Oh, thank you. All right. So we've got that back. That was my little attempt to entertain you in a live stream. So if you like that, give the video a thumbs up. If you did not like it and it was just not your kind of humor, give it a thumbs up anyways, just so that I stop asking you for it forever. Is there actually forever? Well, we don't know. That's a subject of a different video. So we have those two layer twos, optimistic layer twos and zero knowledge layer twos. Example for a zero knowledge layer two on Ethereum is called Loop Ring. It's being used for trading, you know, assets and stuff like that. You couldn't do that with an optimistic rollup, right? Because you have to wait a week until your transactions are finalized. It's not a great choice for DeFi. An optimistic rollup on Ethereum is called Arbitrum. So there's lots of stuff out there. I personally believe that there is ways out of the blockchain trilemma without having to go for rollups. And then it doesn't end with the rollups. Then, you know, even with rollups, it doesn't really scale. So we need a thing called sharding, which is, you know, in the works on Ethereum and makes life even more complicated than with L2s, because L2s are all silos, right? You trade in one L2 and you want to, you know, have some price discovery of what's the price of this and that asset in another L2. You'd have to get your asset out of the L2 into ETH, go to Ethereum, and then put it in the other L2, right? So it creates a lot of pain in the butt to use these L2s. And with Solana, for example, and you know, I'm not associated with Solana. I was into other blockchains before that until I found out about Solana, and it's just so scalable without sacrificing the decentralization or without sacrificing the security. So that's why we decided to build our Bitoku blockchain, the storage blockchain that gives a storage layer to Solana. We build that on Solana first, and then in other steps later in the future, we might connect it to other smart contract chains as well. The launch of the Bitoku Founders Nodes is coming up November 5th. Don't miss it. Click the link in the description to make sure you get your node at the time of the launch, because you will never get it cheaper after that. So the layer ones and layer twos, you know, why is now the time to understand it? There is so much going on discussions, and you can make so many investments in the marketplace into Ethereum, into Solana, into, you know, all the tokens of the L2s and stuff like that. Just keep in mind. So that's why it's important to learn this right now, because we're in the middle of crypto winter, right? The next bull run is coming. You want to be part of that bull run, and you want to make your own decision. What is the best thing to invest in? Is it any of the layer twos? Is it any of the layer ones? What is the best technology? And I gave you, you know, just the tip of the iceberg in this video, what the layer one and layer two differences really are. And I hope now you have enough understanding at least to, you know, do some web research on your own, find out about all these different things and build your opinion, because the next bull run is coming and you want to have your opinion ready and make your bet on these things that you think will be the best. All right. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Bye.